जी हाँ दोस्तों, बिल्कुल सही पढ़ा आप सभी लोगों ने। यूरोप में पढ़ने के लिए यूरोपियन कमीशन देगी आपको 1000 यूरो पर मंथ। सभी चीज़ आज इस वीडियो में कवर करने वाले हैं हम। वीडियो में अंदर जाने से पहले आप सभी लोगों का बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद। जिन भी भाई बंधु ने हमारे जीमेल पर अप्रोच किया है अपना एक्सपीरियंस शेयर करने के लिए, जल्द ही हम आप सभी लोगों को अप्रोच करेंगे और आपका एक्सपीरियंस शेयर करेंगे। और जो भी भाई बंधु हमारे व्लॉग के ज़रिए अपना एक्सपीरियंस शेयर करना चाहते हैं वो हमारे जीमेल देसी इन फ्रांस vlogs@gmail.com पर आप स्क्रीन पर देख सकते होंगे। अभी इस पर हमें अप्रोच कर सकते हैं। बस थोड़ा ये याद रखिएगा कि सब्जेक्ट लाइन आप अपना कॉलेज का नेम, अपने कोर्स का नेम और अपना नेम डाल के रखिएगा। हमारे लिए थोड़ा आसान रहेगा रीच आउट करने के लिए। तो दोस्तों आज बात करेंगे हम अपने भाई से जो कि इरास्मस स्कॉलर हैं और करंटली इस टाइम फ्रांस में हैं। 1.5 साल से यूरोप के अंदर डिफरेंट डिफरेंट कंट्रीज़ घूम चुके हैं इस इरास्मस स्कॉलर होने के नाते। बहुत सारे कॉलेजेस में भी ये रहे हैं और ये आज अपना पूरा एक्सपीरियंस शेयर करेंगे। इनकी वीज़ा प्रोसेस क्या रही, इनका एडमिशन रिक्वायरमेंट्स, इनकी एडमिशन प्रोसेस क्या रही इरास्मस के लिए। तो आज चलिए बात करते हैं और सबसे पहले जानते हैं भाई का बैकग्राउंड।
So thank you. मेरा बैकग्राउंड फिज़िक्स में है. So basically I completed my bachelor's in physics with honors from the University of Calcutta. After that I had kind of decided that I would be going for higher studies, masters and possibly a doctorate, a PhD. So I started looking at research programs at both in India and outside. After a while I came to know about the Erasmus Mundus Joint Master Degree programs. तो मैंने सर्च करना शुरू किया, रिसर्च करना शुरू किया इनके बारे में. The Erasmus program is providing education and training of various kinds to the different students, both European and non-European. Erasmus is like an umbrella, and under this umbrella you have a lot of different sorts of programs and opportunities. So for example, मेरा जो है it's the Erasmus Mundus Joint Master Degree, EMJMD for short. इसमें क्या होता है, basically you get to spend different semesters in different European countries in different universities. So this is what they call mobility program. You're traveling to different places and studying in those said places. This gives you a very wide area of exposure to different countries, different research environments, different kinds of people, professors, types of education and all that. So it's a very rich experience for everyone involved. Erasmus में और भी programs होते हैं like Erasmus Plus for example, which is mainly it's like a semester abroad or exchange semester program. ये उन लोगों के लिए होता है who are already enrolled in a bachelor's or master's program here in some European university in any country. तो वो लोग basically अप्लाई कर सकते हैं Erasmus Plus के लिए if they want to spend one semester in a different country in a different university. Their universities may have some kind of partnerships or relationships with other universities in different countries. You also have other opportunities like traineeships and internships in Erasmus Plus. वो भी होते अलग अलग टाइप्स के. उन चीज़ों के बारे में मुझे इतना डिटेल में नहीं पता, but of course if someone is interested they can try to do their own research. And
थैंक्स फॉर द वेरी डिटेल्ड ओवरव्यू. एंड अब बात करते हैं थोड़ा सा कि इरास्मस प्रोग्राम सेलेक्ट कैसे करते हैं और इसकी डेडलाइंस बेसिकली कब से स्टार्ट हो जाती हैं, तो उसके बारे में थोड़ा बताइए.
so basically मेरा जो प्रोग्राम है Erasmus Mundus Joint Master Degree, here you spend different semesters in different countries. इन programs के लिए deadlines usually around January February होता है and applications start होते हैं around September October. तो if someone is interested I would suggest कि September October से देखना start कर दो. For EMJMDs you can go to a website which shows you the different available programs of EMJMD. You just have to go to Google and search for EMJMD catalog, and then you go to the first website which pops up. Basically when you first open the website you have all the different programs which are available. So on the left side you have some filter options. So in those options you can choose your country, university, etc. But I would suggest initially अपना field of study उसमें से select करो. So if you select physics, in this case फिज़िक्स रिलेटेड जो भी प्रोग्राम्स हैं आपको दिखेंगे. फिर उन प्रोग्राम्स के लिए आपको वहाँ पे मतलब उनका प्रोग्राम स्पेसिफिक वेबसाइट्स भी मिल जाएंगे. For every program that you're interested in, just go to the website. वेबसाइट पे जो भी है A to Z, मतलब सारे आपको इन्फॉर्मेशन मिल जाएंगे regarding the general information of the program, the application criteria, requirements that you need to study in the program, जो भी डॉक्यूमेंट्स आपको सबमिट करने हैं, द रूल्स फॉर सिलेक्शन, इंटरव्यू प्रोसेसेस, सब कुछ आपको वहीं पे मिल जाएंगे.
आपको बेसिकली अलाउंसेस कितने मिलते हैं, मंथली अलाउंसेस कितने मिलते हैं, और उसको ट्रांसपोर्टेशन क्या क्या कवर रहता है, आपके वीज़ा कॉस्ट क्या क्या कवर रहते हैं, वो सब कुछ बताइएगा थोड़ा सा.
Sure. So basically, when I was applying, the monthly allowance was 1,000 euros हर महीने का. Basically, you have a travel allowance which depends on your home country and how far it is from Europe, specifically the country where you're going. So Indians के लिए usually जो maximum होता है वही मिलता है क्योंकि काफ़ी दूर है. जो travel allowance है वो साल में एक बार मिलता है. So if your master program is for 2 years, you get it twice.
अप्रोक्सीमेटली कितना मिल पाता है वो?
I think it's something like 2,000-3,000 euros. I don't remember exactly. So that's one-time payment in 1 year. So you get it twice in your entire course. So that was back when I was applying, and abhi I think the monthly allowance has increased to something like 1,400 euros, or it might be something else. If you can go to the program websites, you can clearly see what the amount is right there. But for that, the 1,400 per month, the most recent allowance that you get, I don't think you get the annual travel allowance extra. But yeah, in the end, the total amount kind of comes down to more or less the same thing. So
जैसे you get 1,000 euros per month, तो लिविंग तो काफ़ी आसान हो जाती होगी जहाँ भी आप जाते होंगे. आपका अभी आप कौन कौन सी कंट्री में जा चुके हैं और कैसे कैसे एक्सपीरियंसेस रहे आपका, वो थोड़ा बताएं.
ओके, सो इट डिपेंड्स, क्योंकि 1,000 जो हमको मिलता है वो इट्स ओके, इट्स नॉट बैड, इट्स या यू कैन डेफिनेटली लिव विद इट. But as you know, with the war in Ukraine and everything that happened after that, the inflation has been rising crazily.
Yeah.
So that's why they also increased the allowance. And for my program, basically, I first went to Spain for my first semester. And then for the second one, I went to Italy. And from the third semester onwards, I've been here in France. In the fourth semester, we can choose where we want to go. But for me, my master thesis, which is what you have to do in the last semester, I chose to stay here in France. And in my program in nuclear physics, there are different paths. Like मेरे क्लास में जो सारे बच्चे, सभी लोग मेरे जैसे सेम मोबिलिटी में नहीं है. तो उनमें से कई लोग ऐसे हैं जो मेरी तरह सेकंड सेमेस्टर में इटली में आए थे, बट इन अ डिफरेंट प्लेस. और कुछ ऐसे भी थे जो स्पेन में ही रह गए सेकंड सेमेस्टर, बट थर्ड एंड फोर्थ सेमेस्टर वो अलग कंट्रीज में गए थे.
It depends on you how you choose.
It depends on the mobility scheme you choose for your specific specialization or whatever.
तो फ्रांस ज़्यादा बढ़िया लगा या स्पेन?
Spain was definitely a very good place to live. I absolutely loved Spain. France is good as well. It's beautiful, but it's more expensive.
Yeah.
Out of these three, it's definitely the most expensive place. But yeah, if you ask me, not considering money or any other, constraints, I would definitely choose to live in Spain. It's a beautiful country, especially for us Indians. The climate is more relaxed for us.
Okay. Now talking about your visa requirements, how do you apply your visa during your studies, or how you plan? Just like we are going to Spain first, are we going to apply for a particular visa in the particular country, or there is a one individual visa that you get for all the Europe? So how the things work for the Erasmus Mundus Scholar? That what is the visa criteria, and how do you apply while studying in between as well, while transferring from one place to another?
So basically, the thing you said about general visa for entire Europe, it's not for studying. It's what's called a Schengen visa, and people usually get it for tourist purposes, which allows you to travel to multiple countries within the EU and the Schengen area. But if you're coming here to study, for us, you have to get a student visa, which is mostly for countries in the EU called a type D visa. So I will go on my personal experience. I had to come from India to Spain, right? So I had to apply for the Spanish visa, and there are only two places to apply in India for the Spanish visa, in the embassy in Delhi and the consulate in Mumbai. So it depends on where you are from within India. That will determine where you have to go to apply for the visa, whether it's in Delhi or Mumbai. But yeah, once you apply for the visa, get all the documents and stuff, and you get the visa, you go to Spain. Usually for Spain, it's not a very long term visa. It's like 2 to 3 months maximum. At least that's how it was when I was applying. Once you reach Spain, you have to apply for the residence permit, because you are spending one semester there, which is around 5-6 months minimum. 2-3 months of visa will not be covering that. You have to get a residence permit, and once you have a visa for a country or a residence permit, whatever, in Europe, you can travel to all the different countries in the EU and Schengen zone with that visa or permit. There are no restrictions. But once you are changing countries and going to another university for a new semester, you're going to be spending 5-6 months there again. So the rule is that with a permit or a visa for one country, you can visit the other countries, but for a maximum period of 90 days. But if you're going for a new semester, that's going to be more than 90 days, so you have to get a visa for whichever country you're traveling to next. So as I said, in my case, I had to travel to Spain, then Italy and France. So for each of these semesters, I had to apply for the Italian visa next, and then the French one. And since you know you're going there next, you have to apply sufficiently in advance. Basically, when you're halfway through a semester, you know I'm going to have to travel there next, so start applying and looking for appointment dates, because those are quite difficult to find. You know, embassies and all that business, they don't really have a lot of available slots all the time.
And do the universities help out in between the process if any of the specific documents is required?
Usually, whatever documents you require for the visa or any other bureaucratic procedure, like applying for permits and all those, whatever documents you need, the universities will provide you. Your coordinators in those specific universities will provide you. Even then, if there is some kind of anything that they missed, you can always ask them for help. They're happy to help. It's not a big deal.
And is there any particular assistance from the Erasmus side as well to you, that as you are an Erasmus scholar, so there might be a particular cell for you people for the guidance or the way out?
Usually there is, because for Erasmus students, basically you're students in mobility, like I mentioned before. So the international offices in the different universities are usually the people who are trying to help you. But even within those international offices, you have different people in the regular master's programs or bachelor programs from other countries studying there. But Erasmus students have to do everything in a very fast track way, because we are always on the move. And we are always, like, especially being non-European, if you have to deal with all these procedures all the time and study and research and do everything else all the time, you basically have no time to sleep.
So that's a really good insight you had given to our viewers. And अब हम बात करते हैं दोस्तों कि स्टे बैक वीज़ा के बारे में. तो आप जैसे पर्टिकुलरली मूव करते रहते हैं हर सेमेस्टर, तो आपको स्टे बैक कहाँ का मिलेगा? तो बहुत से बंदों के मन में, मेरे भी दिमाग में यही आया कि भाई स्टे बैक कहाँ पे मिलेगा आपको फॉरेन कंट्री में. आप स्पेन में अगर अपना लास्ट सेमेस्टर करेंगे तो स्पेन का मिलेगा, या फिर आप फ्रांस में हैं तो फ्रांस का मिलेगा. कैसे रहेगा आपके लिए?
हाँ, यूजुअली आप जहाँ पे ख़त्म कर रहे हो अपने पढ़ाई 2 साल के, मतलब एट द एंड ऑफ 2 years, जिस कंट्री में आप हो जहाँ पे लास्ट सेमेस्टर आप बिता रहे हो, यूजुअली इट्स ईजी टू अप्लाई वहाँ पे फॉर योर पोस्ट स्टडी stay back visa, work visa, whatever you want. And it's usually complicated किसी और कंट्री में अप्लाई करने के लिए. So it's advisable कि जहाँ पे आप रहना चाहते हो, फॉर एग्ज़ाम्पल आपके पढ़ाई ख़त्म करने के बाद आप वहीं पे जाओ फॉर योर फाइनल सेमेस्टर, एंड फिर इट गेट्स ईजी फॉर यू टू अप्लाई फॉर द स्टे बैक देयर इटसेल्फ.
तो जैसे आपका प्रोग्राम है और अब आप यहाँ से अपनी स्टडीज़ ख़त्म कर लेंगे रिसर्च वगैरह की न्यूक्लियर फिज़िक्स में, तो इसका स्कोप क्या है यहाँ पे? कुछ आपको लगता है कि भाई स्टे बैक भी ले लिया तो आपके जॉब पर्सपेक्टिव के लिए कोई अच्छा है? इरास्मस मंडस की स्कॉलर बन के यहाँ पे कुछ बेनिफिट्स हैं आगे के लिए, फ्यूचर के लिए अगर आप देखें?
इन जनरल इरास्मस मंडस स्टूडेंट्स बहुत ही कंपटीशन में से आते हैं. it's quite easy to say that these are well qualified people. और competition बहुत ज़्यादा होता है. Basically application free है, तो you get applications from all over the world. और इनमें से 20-25 स्टूडेंट्स को सिलेक्ट किया जाता है एक प्रोग्राम में. सो दे आर बेसिकली द क्रीम ऑफ द क्रॉप, सो टू स्पीक. सारे बहुत ही अच्छे स्टूडेंट्स होते हैं, एंड यहाँ पे पढ़ने के बाद उनको और भी ज़्यादा एक्सपोजर मिलता है, और भी ज़्यादा नॉलेज मिलती है. एंड ऑल्सो दे आर स्पेंडिंग डिफरेंट सेमेस्टर्स इन डिफरेंट कंट्रीज विच गिव्स देम अ होल अनदर लेवल ऑफ रिचनेस in terms of experience, exposure. In general Erasmus students को इन एडवांटेजेस की वजह से बहुत ही मतलब अच्छे अपॉर्चुनिटीज़ मिलते हैं. They are really preferred by people because of if some potential employer sees that you have spent different semesters in different countries, you have done well in your academics, that says a lot about you as a person. And if you're looking to get a job after that, you have to go and apply to whatever you are looking for. For me specifically, मेरा research program है, so I'm looking to continue with research, at least right now. So maybe I'll probably be looking for a PhD after completing my masters, so we'll see.
तो अकोमोडेशन वगैरह, जैसे आप रेगुलर मूवमेंट में रहते हैं, तो अकोमोडेशन वगैरह का आप कैसे करते हैं? आप प्राइवेट लेते हैं बाहर, जैसे रेंटिंग वगैरह में अपन देखते हैं यहाँ पे फ्रांस में लेबोकुआ वगैरह चलता है, और क्रूज़ भी है गवर्नमेंट वेबसाइट्स. तो आप क्या प्रेफर करते हैं, और आपको क्या असिस्टेंस में क्या प्रोवाइड किया जाता है उसके लिए?
Yeah, so this is a very good question. For example, when I went to Spain, वहाँ पे स्टूडेंट डॉर्म्स जो होते हैं वो यूजुअली 1 साल के नीचे नहीं देते किसी को. एंड सिंस मैं वहाँ पे सिर्फ 1 सेमेस्टर बिताने वाला था, तो आई हैड टू लुक फॉर प्राइवेट अकोमोडेशन आउटसाइड. तो वो पहले से ढूंढना पड़ता है. तो it can be difficult, it can be challenging, but if you are able to get in touch with previous students from previous years, alumni basically, वो भी आपके, they can help you out with accommodation, finding places to stay in. In Italy, you have something called the ESU, which is basically the equivalent of cruise for France. तो वहाँ पे आपको university dorms मिलते हैं students के लिए, which is I think the cheapest. Private market में जाओगे तो मिलेगा, बट काफ़ी एक्सपेंसिव होते हैं और डिफ़िकल्ट टू फाइंड भी होते हैं. और शॉर्ट टर्म स्टेज के लिए ESU इज़ द बेस्ट, बिकॉज बाहर रहोगे तो वो भी मतलब 6 मंथ्स के लिए कॉन्ट्रैक्ट देने में संकोच करेंगे क्योंकि 1 साल के नीचे यूजुअली रेंटल कॉन्ट्रैक्ट्स मिलना बहुत मुश्किल है. फ्रांस में आई एम स्टेइंग इन क्रूज. यू गेट द अकोमोडेशन फ्रॉम कैफ, विच इज़ इट्स नॉट टू मच, बट इट स्टिल कवर्स अ पार्ट ऑफ योर एक्सपेंसेस, विच इज़ नाइस. एंड इन जनरल आई थिंक आप यूनिवर्सिटी डॉर्म्स में रहोगे तो दोज आर द चीपेस्ट ऑप्शंस. और अच्छा भी होता है बिकॉज यू डोंट हैव टू डील with like fixing a light bulb yourself if something goes wrong. Those people who are responsible for maintaining all the different things in a dorm, they do it for you, so that is one less headache for you. But also if you're living in a private accommodation with your friends or people you know, that's obviously more independent for you. You get much more freedom in your day-to-day living basically. So that's also something you should consider, and it depends on your lifestyle.
Is there any particular tip that you want to give to our viewers regarding the interview process and the selection process?
Yeah. Okay, so basically from my personal experience for nuclear physics, when I applied, you basically submit all the documents and you go through a first round of screening where your documents are checked, your eligibility is checked, and if you get through that screening, then they call you for an interview. And once the interview is scheduled, you get asked questions about your motivation, what motivates you to join this specific program, what your future plans are for your career and anything that you want to do after. And you also get asked technical questions about your subject, which is obvious because they also have to know what kind of background you already have for the studies that you're going to do. So yeah, in general for the interviews I would suggest prepare well, know what you have put in your CV so you can actually convince them that you know what you're talking about. And also prepare in general for your subject material, should be handy. Again, I have to mention that not all Erasmus Mundus programs have an interview process. Many of them do, many of them don't. तो जिनमें नहीं होता उनके लिए सिर्फ एप्लीकेशन सबमिट करो, डॉक्यूमेंट सबमिट करो, उन्हीं में से डिसीजन हो जाता है. बट इफ़ यू हैव एन इंटरव्यू, दैट इज़ अ गुड थिंग बिकॉज you can sit down face to face with the people who will be your future colleagues and professors and scientists. It's better to talk to them in person and see what kind of thing that you are going to be doing.
Now this vlog is coming to an end, and is there any tips or tricks that one should know before applying for the Erasmus Mundus, or according to your experience that he should note it down just like a pinpoint in the charts, that this thing should be covered and this thing to be taken to the mind before applying for the Erasmus Mundus? Do you want to give some tips and tricks?
So for the application, I would say that your academics are important, but it's not the whole thing. These universities and scientists, when they are looking at applications, they are looking to get a holistic view of the candidate who is applying. So if you have some kind of extracurricular achievements like publications or internships before coming to the master's studies, any kind of extracurricular activities that you may have is always a bonus. It's a boost. If you don't have absolutely top-notch marks in your bachelor's or whatever, it's not the end of the world, because as I said, other things also matter. But I would suggest ki your English should at least be very good, because you're already coming to European countries. You have to deal with a lot of different languages, but English is more or less an international language, and people regard it as the medium of communication between different people who speak absolutely different languages. Apply as soon as you can for all the programs. Don't wait for the deadlines. Don't wait for the absolute last day. If you're planning to apply for any specific program, start collecting your documents and preparing them as soon as you can, as early as you can. You have to get recommendation letters from professors and people you know, so start preparing for those early as well, so you get them in time. And once you get admitted, you have to deal with the visa procedures again, so that's another whole headache. But don't worry, all these things just happen one by one, so you also have to deal with them one by one. And it's not going to be easy, but it's going to be a lot of fun, and you have a whole lot of experiences to gain once you are here in Europe. You meet lots of different people, make different friends, you get to experience different cultures, different countries, different universities, different education systems. It's all great.
So thank you for all your guidance you had given to our viewers. और दोस्तों, इसी के साथ हम व्लॉग को ख़त्म करते हैं. जो भी आपकी क्वेरीज हो, आप हमें desi-in-france-vlogs@gmail.com पर मेल कर सकते हैं. सोशल मीडिया हैंडल्स हमारे फेसबुक और इंस्टाग्राम पे भी आप हमें कांटेक्ट कर सकते हैं डायरेक्टली. हम उसमें आपकी ज़रूर मदद करेंगे, और आप ज़रूर अप्लाई करिए इस इरास्मस मंडस को, क्योंकि आपको एक अलाउंस मिलता है पढ़ने के लिए. और बहुत से बच्चे ऐसे हैं इंडिया में जिनके पास कोई बैंक लोन वगैरह का भी कोई ऑप्शन नहीं होता, और ये बहुत ही अच्छा ऑप्शन है. आप लोग यूरोप में आके पढ़ाई कर सकते हैं, और आपको नौकरी करने की भी ज़रूरत नहीं है, क्योंकि 1000 यूरो आपको मिलना ही मिलना है पर मंथ पढ़ने के लिए. और आगे के ऑप्शंस आपके लिए खुल ही जाते हैं, जैसे भाई ने अभी अपना पूरा एक्सपीरियंस शेयर किया. तो अभी हम इस व्लॉग को ख़त्म करते हैं, और जल्दी नई वीडियो के साथ आपके साथ मौजूद होते हैं. जब तक ध्यान रखिए, मिलते हैं, बाय बाय.